Hi everyone, I'm Kabir Abdulmajid and I'm presenting my research milestone on challenges of online learning in developing countries such as Nigeria. As we all know, that education traditionally has been administered by physical interactions between teachers and students in the classroom. And now with the advance of technology, we have the internet, we have lots of digital devices which are ubiquitous. Now, like learners can easily access online courses, MOOCs, and other tools for learning and education. However, in developing countries, there are some challenges that prevent the utilization of online education and hinder the ability of students or would-be learners to make use of this useful resource. And this is what this research is all about. That is to identify, understand these challenges, present empirical evidence, and to rank these challenges in order of severity, and to propose potential solutions. So Nigeria utilizes a 6334 system in which the last four in that system represents the number of years spent in the university for a bachelor's degree. And I was motivated to doing this research because of my recent experience when I traveled to Nigeria, and I realized that quite a number of students are not familiar with most of the smoke platforms. And I was curious as to know why this is so and what could be the challenges that's making them not utilize this useful resource. And it's also important to note that most of the universities in Nigeria don't have the capacity to take in most of the degree seeking applicants. For example, it only about 15.3% of applicants were able to get academic seats in universities, and at the end of the day, most of these students that were not able to get seats, not necessarily because they were not qualified, they end up traveling abroad and going overseas to seek education. So with my research, with my literature survey, and with my own personal experience and knowledge, I have classified these challenges to be social cultural, social economic, and to be in IT infrastructure. So this is just a brief outlook as to one of some of the issues that we're talking about. Nigeria is divided into six geopolitical zones, and these geopolitical zones have their own unique challenges. Educational development is different in each zone, and on the right you have a graph that shows the proportion of admitted students and number of applicants within 8 years from year 2000 to year 2008. So here is a list of IT infrastructural challenges, which I have listed the factors under these challenges to be availability of internet service, the quality of internet service, the cost of internet subscription, availability of digital devices, availability of technical support in using and repairing these devices if they're faulty, experience with online learning, experience with social media, and interest in social media, digital literacy skills, ability to use computers, and power supply challenges because Nigeria faces a lot of electricity supply problems. Next challenge is the socioeconomic challenges, and this is mainly in terms of monthly income and expenditure, which basically affects the lifestyle and the ability to purchase internet packages and so on. And basically, the socioeconomic challenges correlate with other challenges as well. We also have family status, parental education, how well the parents are educated, and because they actually would introduce some kind of motivation to the kids as well to pursue education, the geopolitical zones, the academic competence, the access to supporting materials, and lifestyle in general. Sociocultural challenges, on the other hand, are actually also interesting because we have gender alignment, and some students face discrimination in their educational pursuits. We have age group, we have motivation. Some people would just rather prefer to spend their time on social media than watching boring lectures online. We also have religion and tolerance. We have cultural belief. We have language and communication, which is very important in learning. We have the use of technology. We have age group. So the approach for this research will be it's going to be a survey research, and I'll be using a questionnaire survey to like gather some interesting statistics and analyze this qualitatively to understand these challenges. Uh, the scope is to target some undergraduate students in Nigerian universities, and this will be done across some different geopolitical zones to minimize sampling bias. Another thing is that this survey uh, will be done in online. There will be an online format, and then there will be a paper-based format. The online format will be hosted on Google Forms, and the paper-based will be printed on A4 paper and distributed to students. And this is also to minimize sampling bias from students that have internet access and from students that are not able to purchase internet packages. Overall, there will be 40 questions in total, and it takes roughly 10 times to complete the survey questionnaire. And to improve the response time, I'll be providing internet bundles to random respondents. Here we have sample questions. For example, in IT infrastructure challenges, one of the questions that I have is if the respondents actually have internet in where they currently reside. And for the social cultural challenge, one of the questions is that if the respondents agree that they face some kind of discrimination related to their gender. So 6 people participated in the pretest, and they came from different locations. As you can see in this in the table on the left and in the graph on the right, I have some responses, and on the right there's a pie chart that describes the distribution of the respondents based on their use of internet for education and online learning in a day. Also, they provided useful feedback based on the questionnaire as to like how long it took them to respond, and if they thought the questions were too much or or actually enough, and if there were some grammatical errors like missing question marks, and if the questions actually were clear and straight to the point. So in the future, I would verify that the questionnaire adheres to the standards and methodologies of effective survey research. I have to like make sure that I get the sampling strategy right. I have to administer the survey basically, and receive the responses and process the responses and conduct a follow-up if necessary. Then I would do some statistics, qualitative analysis, draw my conclusions, and present the final work. Thank you.